Good morning, Challenge Bee directors. Today I am going to show you how I put together my mock trial box that has all the supplies I needed to take to court, and the teams that I'm working together with, we all contribute to it, and then we leave it there in the courtroom if we have permission from the judge, so that all of our supplies are there and we don't have to tote them back and forth each day, because we do like to do 2 trials each. The first trial kind of gets all the jitters out, and the second trial you have a chance to go back and do things well, do it the way you wished you could, and apply some of the things you learned from the first time through. We are there multiple times a week, and this is my box of supplies that we pull together. So if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Erica Lynn, and I'm a homeschool mom, and it is my hope to help you make homeschooling become easy. And so I'm putting all my tips and tricks and hacks that I have learned over the years into these videos so that you don't have to make the same mistakes I did, but you can zoom through and do things better your first time than I did. I just realized I have an extra one of these little boxes, and I actually think everything will fit in this, and I will link that in the video description. A lot of the stuff I just used for mock trial, so it doesn't, oh, there's a spider. There's a spider in the box. Pause the video. Oh my gosh, it was a brown recluse. Look at that, so nasty. That just shows I have not opened this box since mock trial last year. I'm gonna clean this up and we're gonna go again. Okay, I have thoroughly checked the box and there seems to be no more vermin in there, so let's get started again. I have a mock trial to-do list I'm putting together, and I don't have a video done on it yet, but when I do, I will link it here for you. When we partner with another community, we divide out the tasks that need to be done for mock trial. That way it's not all on one director, and you can always ask parents to help with these tasks. There's lots of options for you so that you have all the documents that you need for each trial. These are the juror packets that you can, and all of this is in the mock trial guide, but you can also print it all off on CC Connected. So you need a juror packet. I don't know if this is the standard, but what's always been done in our area is each team brings 3 jurors to judge the trial. And then you need the jurors' evaluation forms. And I have this in blue. These are actually extras that I have left over from a previous trial. I'm going to dive into that a little bit more. The other thing that you have to have for your trial are your administrator sheets and your judge's score sheet and packet. Okay, so we've got the entire packet and the judge's score sheet there. So however many trials that our group will be doing together, usually it's somewhere between 3 to 5 trials that all the teams are doing, we'll have someone be in charge of printing out all the papers. So they'll print out 5 administrator packs, they'll print out 5 judges score sheets and judges packs. These are the same jurors evaluation forms. There's extra. We always print them in 2 colors because you're going to do 2 rounds at your trial. So we like to have round 1 be a particular color and round 2 be a different color. That way it is easy for the administrator to keep them separate and there's no confusion over which trial it came from, because there is a lot that you're keeping track of the day of the trial. And in addition to that, I always print these out. This is a sheet of mock trial objections. This should be in the Facebook group, but I will link it as well. That I put together, I honestly just went through and I typed out all the objections in the mock trial notebook with the correct descriptions and put them on one page, because in the mock trial notebook they're spread over like 2 or 3 pages, and I feel like it's more efficient for the students to have one sheet in front of them so they can see all of the objections at the same time. When they're there at trial, they're not flipping pages trying to find the right objection that they're looking for. So I always print extras of those and make sure there's plenty for all the students that show up, not just my team. We want to make sure that all students have the same opportunities, same advantages. This isn't about winning or losing. This is about learning how the court system works. This is a fun opportunity to get to learn how it works within the competition setting, but this is not a competition. This is a play acting. This is a learning experience, and that's what we have to keep in our minds first and foremost. Okay, so these are just extras from the previous year. Sometimes we'll do these and we'll mark like, hey, trial 1, your administrator packet, your judge packet, your 6 jury forms, and then your 6 jury score sheets are, for both trials. So 12 score sheets might all be in one folder, and I'll be like, hey, this is Monday's trial. This is Tuesday's trial. So that's one way we've organized it in the past. Another way we've done it before is just throw all of it into these manila envelopes. So you're like, hey, here's all 5 of the judge packets and judge score forms. And here's all 5 of the administrator packets and the administrator score forms. We also print out the grievance form in case somebody needs to fill that, although we highly discourage our students from using that. For the jury stuff, what we really prefer doing is clipping it all on the clipboard. For the whole week, we just make 6 copies of the juror packet, and we leave it clipped onto the clipboard. And then each jury that comes in for each trial can just reference the same packet if they have any questions. And that saves, you know, if we got 6 jurors for 5 trials, that's 30 printouts versus we can just print it 6 times. So it saves us a lot of money in printing. And then every morning before the trial, the administrator will go through and clip on 2 score sheets. And so 2 different colors. And this will be for round 1 and round 2. And then you've got your backup. So you do have to have 30 copies of the blue, 30 copies of the purple score sheet, or whatever colors you want to choose. But then we can give this and a pencil to each jury member that we usually have them set in the jury box. They've got all the resources that they need. They have something hard to write on because there's not a counter like in front of them to use or a desk. And so they are good to go with that. So we use our clipboards there. And then you just have to pull the judge's form out and the administrator form out. You'll also do a clipboard for the administrator because you never know where the administrator is going to have to sit. So you don't know if they're going to have a desk with them or if they're going to be sitting in the audience or sitting in the jury box. Sometimes our courtrooms will completely fill up. We'll be kind of setting people everywhere. Okay, the other thing we like to do, and this is extra, so it's not required. Lots of times people come in with questions. What are we doing here? So we print some sort of a program, okay? We've done 2 different types. We've done a pamphlet type. So it's a 1-page kind of brochure. It tells the order of the trial, especially that we're doing round 1 and round 2. There's a lot of confusion around that. The purpose of the trial, the list of characters. If we're doing 5 trials, we will print 100 copies of whatever we're handing out as a brochure. We usually will have extras left over. So like this year, we have a lot of extras left over. So we may not even need to print new brochures this year. We just print these out at Office Depot. And I think they charged me like $2 to go ahead and fold these brochures for all 100 of them. So it was well worth the money. This is a little memento for parents and students. We hand these out and we try to do it like 1 per family. Or if there's grandparents there, they can have their own. But if you're doing 2 trials, you don't need 2 of these. So everyone gets kind of 1 their first day of trial and just kind of hand those out because it just costs money for everything that you have to print. So we give that, and that helps kind of settle a lot of questions for the adults that are there watching the trial. The next thing that we bring is name tags. This has helped so much settling any confusion on who is playing what role. So I have the administrator for each trial go to each of the students, and they can even do this like as they're waiting out in the hallway before the trial begins. And each student needs to put a name tag on of the role they are playing. So if they're a prosecution attorney, it says prosecution attorney, defense attorney, or the name of the character or bailiff. So it's just the name of the role. And that way, when the judge looks at you or when other students from the opposing class look at you, they know exactly what role you're playing. And then we take them off after the first round and everybody gets a new trial with the new role that they're playing for the second round. The other thing we bring are Post-it notes. I always keep extra little stacks of Post-it notes and put a couple of these on both prosecution and defense tables. And the attorneys, while they are not allowed while you're not allowed to speak to your witnesses, you can speak to the other attorneys at the table, but you do want to keep it quiet. And so we find Post-it notes are a quick and easy way. You can make a note, pass it to someone, tell them to remember something or to say something or to help someone with objections. Also just picked up a pack of Sharpie markers. You never know when those are going to come in handy, but we do use these to put the names on. That way it's bright and clear and thick and the judge can read it from across the room. So Sharpie markers. And then I just grabbed a pack of mechanical pencils. So I don't know, like a pack of 50 or something, and they've served me for the last 5 years. And so all your jury members will get a pencil, your administrator, if the judge needs one. I've got pencils here available for everybody, and I have extras, so if somebody walks off with one, it's no big deal. I have thrown in a couple of pens because when the administrator is tallying and doing all of her things, she may want to write in pen her final numbers. So that is what I take. So my box is now empty. And so this is what we pull together for trial each year. These are the supplies that we use. And then we just ask the judge at the beginning of the week, when we're talking to their administrator, one of the questions I ask them is, would it be possible for us to leave this little box of supplies in the courtroom, maybe just tucked back in the jury box somewhere? Oftentimes when we are using a courtroom, they will not they will kind of be out of it for the week. They will not be coming in and out. So far, this has always worked. If they are using the courtroom, they have so kindly put it in one of their offices for us. That way, all the supplies are there at the trial. So maybe I'm competing on Monday and administrator or team B is competing on Monday, but then maybe team B and team C are competing on Tuesday, or team C and team D. There can be a lot of interchanges. If everyone knows everything's in the box, it's all there ready to go, we are good. The only other thing I take in addition to this are my enlarged exhibits and my tripod. So let me show you what those enlarged exhibits look like, and then you can use any stand that you already have to place these up. I do not enlarge all the exhibits, and sometimes we don't even need the enlarged exhibits because some of our courthouses around here have these projector systems called Elmos, and so you can place the paper exhibit face down and it'll project it up on a wall on like a white screen. But sometimes we are in older courthouses and all you have is what's physically present with you. And so for some of these drawings and more picture types exhibits, we have gone ahead and printed the enlarged version CC has, and I think you can get those in CC Connected. They also used to be part of the director's folders on Office Depot, so that they might also, I think they are also available on the CC printing website now. And so you can print those either places. I hold on to these year to year because it did cost me like $40 or $60 to have each one of these posters printed out. So it was a little bit of an initial investment. And so we printed the enlarged exhibit, okay, just as they are. So this is much larger because the audience does not have access to see the little paper documents that you hand out. And then I just got this foam board, and this is 2 foot by 3 foot foam board, and just taped these on here. Like they're nothing fancy, okay? So we've got enlarged fighting Phil. We've got the enlarged construction site drawing. Okay, so, and when in the mock trial book, they're black and white, but when you print it out from CC Connected or the other printing source, they're in color. And so that's really fun. That's much more engaging. And then we have the weather reports. Now there's 3 weather reports, so we had to make this 2 separate exhibits. So there's the one, here's the second one, and this one curls up here because this was just a little bit bigger than the poster board. So this is 1 and 2, and then that was the third one. So they're all printed in color. These are just really nice for the audience to be able to see. The next one is the catalog page for Fighting Phil, so you can see what this looks like, nice and large. And then 2 more. This is the artistic drawing. And when you look at it here, what you can't tell in your mock trial notebook, but you can tell here, is this is a glass front building. How pretty is that, right? This whole thing is a wall of windows. And then this is the section that is like going underground. And hello, we can see here, did anybody notice there are cars driving through this building? This is a street going through the middle of the building. And these are little cars driving through here. So this is massive. And that's one of the things we like to really point out. Like, this is not just some little building. Like, this is like a bridge. Like, this is huge. And the last one is Artie's manifesto, his master plan, and it has colored sections as well. So we print out those our first year, and then we just have a director hold on to those. I printed them, so I hold on to them. But when I retire from directing, I'll pass that down to the next director as long as they're still using the same trial so that they don't have those initial costs, because that was probably $200 that we had to put into putting those together. Those, and then printing the worksheets each year, you know, that can be another, you know, $50 or $100 of supplies when you come to trial time. And so that comes out of my supplies fee. As a Challenge B director, I feel like almost half of my supplies fee goes to mock trial expenses, and the other half of my supplies fee goes to like short stories books and printing those. So those are our 2 major expenses, and I don't feel bad to use my entire budget on doing those well and doing them right, because I want the kids to have great memories from those 2 projects that they do. I want it to be really high class. So that is what we bring with us, and we do leave that in the courtroom all week long. I hope that is helpful to you, and if you have any questions, comment below and I can answer any questions you have. And again, once I get the to-do list video up and posted, I will link it here. This is my master to-do list of all the tasks that I have found helpful to me. Now, all of these are mandatory. Some of these are things that I just like to do, but I made it for myself because my biggest fear going through mock trial is that I'm going to forget something. And so last year's my 4th time through, I was like, my number one anxiety is that I'm forgetting to do something. So as I went through, I started making notes of every task I needed to accomplish, and then I typed them up, and now this will be my first year to use it, so I'm sharing it with you guys. There may be things I have to tweak on it in the future, but this is how I'm walking through, and I think if I know I've got everything done, I'm gonna have less anxiety and less stress when it comes to the day of mock trial, and I can focus more on just encouraging my students and helping them to relax and do the best that they can do. So please put a heart in the comments if you watched all the way to the end of this video. That means so much to me. Thanks so much. Have a good day. Bye.